The National Environment Agency, in collaboration with the United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) and the ECOWAS Commission, has convened a national workshop aimed at accelerating the Gambia's transition to cleaner fuels and lower vehicle emissions. Held at the Kairaba Jawara Conference Center in Bijilo, the two-day meeting brought together government officials, regulators, development partners, and private sector stakeholders to review the country's progress in implementing ECOWAS directives on cleaner fuels and vehicle emission standards. The workshop is also seeking to identify implementation challenges and develop a roadmap to guide future action. Addressing participants at the opening ceremony.
So I think this is a good time to pick up that discussion. And we're not starting from where we left. There's been a lot of progress, and I think it was also mentioned by the moderator. At continental level, East Africa is leading. The sub-region has already adapted and implemented 10 ppm fuels, very good fuels. They've also adapted Euro 4 emission standards and in the process of implementing. 11 of the 16 Southern African countries have also implemented the 50 ppm fuels. In Africa, Morocco is leading when it comes to clean fuels and clean vehicles. They're already at 10 parts per million and Euro 6. They're the leading country in Africa. I think it's a good time for the West Africa sub-region. We have 5 countries that have already implemented the clean fuels regulation, as we will see. And I think this is we are now at a place where the sub-region is almost, at the critical stage of moving to cleaner fuels. And that's why for us, it's really excited to be here. And Gambia is one of the countries that we know and we have faith that will be moving quite fast. Having already adapted the standard is just the implementation date. So we know that for the sub-region, it's almost at the critical stage, and the switch will actually happen in the short term in the sub-region. The ECOWAS standards being proposed, they're not, very strict standards. These are standards that were implemented in Europe in 2005, from 2005. So, and that's where the health impact starts. So I would advocate for the implementation of these standards, both for fuels and vehicles. For us as UNEP, why does it matter? Because there's a study that was released.
The National Environment Agency says addressing air pollution remains a critical environmental and public health priority. Speaking on behalf of the agency's Executive Director, Deputy
Executive, allow me to express our sincere appreciation to the United Nations Environment Programme and to the ECOWAS Commission for their continued partnership in supporting the Gambia and other member states to advance cleaner fuels and improve vehicle emission standards across our region. This initiative reflects our shared commitment to protecting public health, preventing our environment, and promoting sustainable development across the region. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, air pollution is one of the most pressing environmental and public health challenges of our time today. The transport sector remains a significant source of harmful pollutants, including particulate matter, nitrogen oxide, and other greenhouse gases, which contribute to respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, environmental degradation, and climate change impacts. Our cities continue to grow, and vehicles ownership continue to increase. Improving fuel quality and reducing vehicle emissions have become an urgent priority, therefore, for this generation. Cleaner fuels and cleaner vehicles not only improve air quality, but also reduce healthcare costs, improve vehicle efficiency, support climate actions, and contribute to stronger and more resilient economies. Recognizing these challenges, ECOWAS adopted the directives on clean fuels and vehicle emission standards to establish a harmonized regional standard that will improve fuel quality
Toure further stressed the need for stronger coordination, enforcement, and public awareness to ensure the successful implementation of regional directives on cleaner fuels and vehicle emissions. Also speaking at the event was Papa Seka, who represented the Minister of Petroleum, Energy and Mines. Seka acknowledged that the Gambia has made progress in aligning national fuel and vehicle emission standards with ECOWAS requirements, including updates and standards governing gas, oils, diesel.
For enforcing this fuel quality, developed the necessary regulations in 2018. So they've been referenced since then. With the directive, we went ahead through the technical committee on petroleum to update those standards that I just mentioned in 2021. They have since been updated with respect to all the requirements stated in the directives. More details of this you will see during our presentation. And immediately after that, we have been engaging the stakeholders from the ministry, from the private sector, to encourage them to enforce these standards and ensure that their requirements are being met at the national level. Of course, the directives were planned to come into effect on 1st January 2021. And had they had been fully implemented, that would have prohibited the importation of gasoline and diesel fuels from exporting countries that do not meet these specifications. Unfortunately, the country identified some specific bottlenecks that made it extremely difficult to meet this deadline. The government further directed that we could perhaps have some cooling state before these directives can be implemented at the national level. But up till today, I can say for sure that we've not been able to meet these requirements. And because of those challenges and the several other issues that came.
According to the organizers, the workshop provides an opportunity for policymakers, technical experts, and industry stakeholders to access existing policies, discuss practical solutions, and strengthen efforts to improve air quality across the country. The meeting is expected to conclude with recommendations that will help guide the Gambia's adaptation of cleaner fuels. The meeting is expected to conclude with recommendations that will help guide the Gambia's adaptation of cleaner fuel standards and support measures aimed at reducing vehicle emissions. For Voice TV, I am Fat Kurwali.